Hello, thanks for joining me on another video bulb log garden walk, looking at the garden when it's kind of green. It's going into that quieter stage after the blaze of colour from the early spring flowers. Colours are more subtle and green now. We've got the Uvularia grandiflora. Nice stand there. And like everything, it seeds around, so there's one up there, and this is a self-sown seed group down here, seeded into the edge of the path, into the gravel. It's a pretty thing. I like the Uvularias, and they're great. And this is one of the beds where the early colour was, where the little anemone, ranunculoides, which had collapsed. Things had gone over more quickly because of the dryness. But in this last few days we've had quite a lot of rain, so the plants are picking up a wee bit. But soon the early plants will start to go over. So what happens in these beds now? Well, you see you've got the Uvularia, and there's podophyllums there as well. Of course, bluebells. And there's plenty more. There's Erythroniums galore in this bed, but I can't see them yet. But I'm sure that rain that went into the ground, that moisture, will soon drive them up. But in the garden, the leaves are coming on the trees. So let's just go around this way, past some of the troughs, and past the bulb house where a lot of the bulbs are going down now as well. Most of them have had their flowering season. It's nice and sunny. This is just going over. It was a lovely ledum, or rhododendron as it's now called, but just the dryness again. As I say, flowers are going over quickly. Here's Erythronium Craigton Purple. This is one of our own hybrids. It's a hybrid of Corydalis capitata, and this is a selected form that we named and distributed. So it is out there. It's hopefully getting around and becoming more available. But it's a beautiful colour. It's a lovely plant, and it's been battered because last night we had some really heavy rain and wind, and that's knocked it. It was a lovely clump standing upright, but it's just been knocked about a wee bit in the wind. You can see it rattling about, but the wind's substantially smaller or less violent now than it was. But if we look across, we see the Uvularias over there, and further over we've got the ferns. So it's greenery time. Everywhere I look there's green, new fronds coming out, peonies, lots of different peonies. There's still trilliums. I see lots of lilies poking up in there, and some of the rhododendrons. Pachysanthem, lovely new foliage, not many flowers. I don't know if there's any flowers on it this year. Flowered well last year, but covered in lovely new foliage. And it's just such a lovely time. Even the birds are enjoying it, singing away up there. I think they're feeding young, so maybe he's got a break as the young are having a sleep. But up where in one of the last videos we looked at all the Erythroniums up the path. All the flowers, but a few are gone over. Here we've got this anemone. This is the hybrid Crossimanii or Lipsiensis, whatever its correct name is. Really nice, and it's still going on. Down here we've got Herbaria, growing along the wall here, along the face of the wall. Another group of it here. So there's always plenty to see, even when you think it's just green. I'm just seeing down here, I'll look at the seed pod on a colchicum, and then here in the bushes, always worth having a poke about and looking into the bushes. Here's a Trillium grandiflorum, if I can get a shot of it. The double form, one of the doubles. There's quite a lot of doubles. Rhododendron orbiculare. But they're just coming around all the seeds. I don't know how much seed will be in some of these capsules because of the dryness. I suspect some of these, like this one, I'm not so confident that they'll have any seed in them. So it might not be the best seed year. But just green leaves, and you keep finding other things, trilliums among them. And then there is the odd Erythronium just hanging on. So here's a hybrid, and some of these hybrids up here are really vigorous. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers it's had on it. 7 flowers. Here's one with not quite so many. It's just a very vigorous form of the hybrids up here. Vigorous in the sense it produces a lot of flowers. They're not increasing at the bulb very quickly. In the back, the trilliums are starting to go pink as the anthocyanins develop. All around there's peonies in the bushes that are seeded out. This is a self-seedling out in the path. But it's everywhere is green. The Lathyrus in there, again getting pushed over, usually lasts a long time, but just the dryness we've had up until the last few days. But the growth will come, that moisture in the ground will stimulate the growth to really push up. More to come, but just the different foliages, allowing the wee Geranium robertianum to seed around and other plants to seed around, just gives you this lovely tapestry through which the lilies and the Doronicums and the peonies and all the other plants that are in here can come up through. Coming along the wall, with Trillium rivalis have gone over. So it's the end of one phase and the start of another. We've still got plants like Primula marginatus, are wonderful plants. They give you this lovely bonus of the flowers, but for the rest of the year they've got stunning foliage. Here we come round to some more peonies. Peony lutea. This is the form Ludlowi. Just coming out. Giant flowers. And these are in the foreground here. These are self-seeded. It seeds around everywhere. The main plant's in the back there, pushing well above our heads. Above the acers, the red-leaved acers. Looking lovely up there. Multi-stemmed. But even down here we've got the Mianthemum, tiny wee Mianthemum, and the Cornus Sweckica with the Erythronium americanum leaves. The leaves of Jeffersonia, I think I showed you it previously, in flower. Well, the leaves are growing vigorously, which is what you want to see. Vigorously to feed up the plant. And in here you can see the starts of the seed pods, which hopefully will swell up nice and fat and produce lots of seed. There's another seed pod in there of the other Jeffersonia. So you've got the two, you've got dubia in the foreground and the biphylla. Erythroniums, of course, there's lots of, not Erythroniums, Fritillarias. Lots of Fritillarias around the garden, so Acmopetala. These big two-tone flowers. In there we've got a Fritillaria affinis, the yellow form. And up here we've got all the flowers of Rhododendron Fortunei falling from above my head. It's covered in flowers up there. But oh, and the scent, you can't share the scent. You just have to take my word for it. It's wafting in the breeze, and it is absolutely a heavenly scent. A sweet scent, reminiscent of nice flowers and watermelon. But you can see from all the flowers how many flowers it's had. The flowers crashing down on the Ramondas. So we've got Ramonda Nathali in flower at the moment. And then the Ramonda Myconii and others will flower a bit later. And there's a white Herbaria growing in there as well. Pond's green too. And some, I'm just going round to see another rhododendron here. This is Rhododendron Maconoi. Foliage always looks chloritic at this time of year, but it's got this narrow foliage. And the flowers, they're a bit stunted this year actually. It's because of the drought. It's been too dry for them. This is one of the, comes from Japan, and it really likes wetter weather than we've been having this year. It's a problem I think lots of us are going to face, as we've planted for a climate that was cooler and moister, especially in the spring and early summer. And now it's getting that bit, not necessarily warmer, but drier and much more windy, which dries the ground. The plants are going to start to struggle a wee bit, or we might have to adapt, but just to see how strong the wind was. I mean, there's bits of acer getting blown off and broken off in the wind from last night. Here's more Corydalis Craigton Purple. What I did was, as part of my own trials, I put it in as many places in the garden to test it. So it's in full sun, in deep shade, and dry, in wet, to see where it would do. And the fact is that it's grown in every situation. It's just some situations it will take to better than others. But again, the whole mix of plants. Epimediums, one of the Chinese epimediums. I'm not very good on the names of these, but the lovely new foliage. Come around another stand of the yellow Fritillaria affinis. It's a really nice plant that it's never ever set seed for us, this one, but it increases by these little rice grains on the bulb. So you can see all the young leaves down there. So every few years it's worth just lifting it and getting some of those rice grains off so you can spread it and distribute it about. Here's another more typical Fritillaria affinis with the darker colour. Trilliums shooting up still, Trillium albidum coming through with all the Dicentras, hybrid Dicentras. There is some podophyllums in here as well, different podophyllums. So we've got the big leaf Plyanthemum, Podophyllum delavii, and then in there's lots of peltatum, Podophyllum peltatum running about. Giant leaves there poking up and it was in flower earlier in the year. I'm not sure if I can, this camera's going to catch it in there, but that's Mandragora. So just coming round, still Trilliums, many of them are still going. I see lots more Fritillaria affinis and Kamchatensis in there as well. This is a tall here Kamchatensis, and can I zoom into that one over there? There's Fritillaria Kamchatensis in there, and then just up this side of it there's another one there. Hiding in the greenery. And so I was just going to come round here for a few more minutes, and as we walk round, and it's just the shape, the foliage, all the greens, and when you do get the odd flower it's just a bonus. But a whole mixture of foliage types and colours. These are what decorate the garden for more of the year than the flowers. So appreciate your foliage and plant for foliage. The new leaves of the acers as they come out. Acer japonicums. Really beautiful. The shuttlecock ferns started to expand. They were looking really attractive as they come through, and then the fronds expand, but they dance about in the light. And down here a whole range. There's more Trilliums. Bluebells in there. And here's more Uvularias. A whole range of seedlings. Uvularias. So kind of started with Uvularia, so it's maybe we'll just round up and finish off in this bit, whereas we can turn around and see appreciating green and foliage is as important in a garden as enjoying the wondrous colours. But perhaps by next time when I do our garden walk on video, we'll be back to looking at more flowers as the next wave of flowers will start to come out. So I'll leave you there, finish there. If you stayed with me this long, thanks for being with me again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.